Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Thursday evening. It's time for another episode of Whiskey, Cigars, and Comics. We're going to be hanging out for a little while. I'm going to be showing off some books I got in the mail. I got an AOK from my good friend Marcus to go over. He sent me some really cool books. We'll review them. I picked up a couple keys last weekend that are pretty cool. I wanted to really focus this year on picking up some bronze aged, really good books that, have some key significance to them, either first appearance, second appearance, things of that nature. So probably spend a little less time buying store variants, although I love many of them. I feel like I need to focus more on some of the older stuff. A lot of that bronze age stuff you can buy still fairly cheap, and if you're really discerning and you hunt for it really well, you can find some high grade stuff for not too expensive. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on. Higher grade bronze age keys. Trying to find that sweet spot between like $50 books to high of $300-400. High grade as I can find. So I think that's a worthy goal to aspire to. We'll see if I can make that happen. I'm starting off this year pretty good. I got a couple of really nice books this year, and it's only February, so I may have to calm down a while, but I'm starting off with things. So there is as well. Marcus messaged me on Instagram about it. So I just wanted to see if I could pull up where the news came from. See if I can find it real quick here. All right. Also, real quick, I'm going to say I forgot to do this. All right, I think I'm back. Hopefully you guys can hear me clearly now. I forgot to switch over to my other signal on my Wi-Fi. When I'm outside, I don't get the 5G signal very well, so I want to make sure the stream doesn't have any technical difficulties. All right. I was going to look up real quick. Any information? Okay, yeah, got it. All right. Some of you already know this. This isn't huge news. Let me share my screen. There we go. So the Magic Order. This was a book that came out last year. Mark Millar, how do you want to pronounce it? Millar, I guess some people say Millar. Really a really good series. I don't like everything Millar does. Some of his kick-ass stuff was good. There's been a couple disappointments over the years. I would say maybe 1 out of 3 or 4 books he does is decent. I was a bigger fan of him. Yeah, I liked some of the older stuff he did. Wanted was obviously kind of, he's well known for that. That book was pretty hot back in the day. He did a lot of work on the some of the Avengers, right? He did the that series with Hickman. I'm sorry, Brian Hitch. Sorry, Brian Hitch, and that was really good. So, he's had some hits, but feels like over time he seems to have had more misses than hits. But Magic Order, I think, has been was a good comic series. I enjoyed it. Looks like June 13th is the first episode date on Netflix, and we already knew it was going to be a Netflix show because he signed a major deal with Netflix for millions and millions of dollars. On the back cover of all of his comic books, it says Netflix. So, you knew it's just a matter of time before this property was going to be made. So Magic Order number 1. There is I think it's my variant copy. I bought a variant. I think this was the only variant I picked up, Magic Order. I can't remember the website I bought this. I think at the time when I bought this, I think they were advertising. It was a really low print run, like 100 copies maybe. I think there's only like 100 copies of these in existence. So I don't know if this book blows up in value, which don't count on it. Most Millar books don't do well. Take my word for it. Go on eBay and take a look. Most of the Millar books don't go crazy in value. But this one, maybe if it does, I think perhaps this variant will be the one that perhaps goes up in value a lot. I don't know. I think I also picked up I think this was the B cover, the black and white version, and I think this was the C cover also, number 1. Just thought it was a cool looking cover. And that was an Adam Hughes cover. There we go. There's the AH in the corner. Adam Hughes. So that was you can't really tell because Adam Hughes usually draws up close faces, and there's nothing up close on that one. I think it was a 6-issue run. I really like this cover too. Number 2. What was his name? The villain? I can't remember. Started with a V. Not Vigil. That's Daredevil villain. I can't remember what his name was, but he was interesting. And I think that is the regular cover for number 2, perhaps. For number 3, I just picked up the best covers, and I didn't buy every cover. I would look at the 4 or 5 different covers for each issue and just kind of grab the one I thought looked best. Number 3, I just thought that cover looked really cool. Just cool looking cover. Number 4, I just grabbed. I think that was the regular A cover for number 4. Number 5, this is definitely the better cover for number 5. I love red and black covers anyways. I'm a sucker for those. And then the last issue was number 6. So it was a 6-issue miniseries. I think that was like the C cover maybe. So, it was a good comic book series. I'm glad to see that it's got a release date now on Netflix. Hopefully it's really good. I don't know if there's any news on the casting of that. Yeah, it just names the executive producers and the release date. It doesn't really give you any other information. I don't see any casting. There's no trailer yet. So this book is probably not going to move until you see a trailer drop. And then I think you might see some action on it. But there might be some action just because of the release news of the date. So that could get people interested. All right, I am going to light up my cigar here. Only have 5 people watching. I probably should do these later. I just got so much going on in the evenings these days. It's tough for me to tough for me to do them. Once in a while, late, like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm available, but I don't know how good my streams will be at that hour. I probably won't be as live. Not that I'm lively now, but probably be a lot less lively. All right. Got Marcus in the house. We got Malcolm. 5 people watching. Hopefully we'll see a few more people join with us pretty soon. But Magic Order, that might be a book that you can find for not too much money on eBay. Kind of curious what would be what's the highest priced variant for Magic Order number 1. I would imagine there were so many store variants. I'm just going to do a search by highest price. Somebody's selling all 6 issues signed by Mark Miller for $1,800. Does that sound right? That doesn't sound right. Jeez Louise. Oh, it looks like it's every single variant. Jeez. 36 comic books. It still seems like a lot of money. Holy smokes. $1,800. Good luck there. I don't know that you're going to get that kind of money. Looks like, let me share my screen here. Sorry. So I'm on eBay. There's a variant, the Adam Hughes variants for $60. Looks like you've got the cover C for 9.2 near mint minus for 21. All right, somebody threw up, that's a bad word, put up on eBay the San Diego Comic-Con variant. So there is a variant that looks like mine, but it's blue. So this is not the San Diego Comic-Con. I think this was a store variant. I don't know. Supposedly this is the lowest print run. At the time I bought it, I think the store I bought it from advertised it as the lowest print run. Yeah, it looks like the San Diego Comic-Con might be the one to get from 2018. I forgot that came out in 2018. I thought it was last year, but no, I think it came out near the end of 2018. It's in the $300 range for 9.8. Dale asking, I wonder if it's because of the news. Yeah, so far the San Diego Comic-Con, I haven't seen the one I bought online yet, which looks just like the San Diego Comic-Con, except for it's like a black and white version versus blue. Yeah, let me just type in Image Comics. So the Magic Order San Diego Comic-Con exclusive was exclusive for, it only had 2,000 copies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one I have. Yeah, okay, here's one for sale. All right, it's definitely not the one to get. The copy I have. Magic Order number 1, the Surprise Comics edition. Is that who I bought it from? Surprise Comics? It doesn't ring a bell at all. Maybe I must have bought this off eBay or something, because I don't remember buying it from a website called Surprise Comics. So there is a 9.8 for sale for $190. Yeah, I don't know. It looks just like the San Diego Comic-Con. So I don't know. Maybe the print run's a little less. There is a Tyler Kirkham variant, which is cool. $125 for a 9.8 signed. First prints are around $100. Yeah, so it looks like the San Diego Comic-Con is the one to get if you can find a raw copy in high grade. I don't, there's, so here's a listing right here that looks like you can buy the set for around $30. And one of the issues is the San Diego Comic-Con variant. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's too hard to get right now. So that might be one to keep your eye on. Yeah, but you know, they had a lot of variants. I mean, it's kind of nuts how many different covers there were. I think every issue had at least 3 covers. I know the first issue had like 4 or 5, so it's quite a bit. All right, who's in the house here? Zach B. What's going on, my friend? Tom's Comics and Reviews. How we doing, my friend? Marcus said he bought 2 of those Magic Order San Diego Comic-Cons today. There you go. So that's why there's not too many on eBay. Marcus has been buying them up. Yeah, that seems to be the one to get, the blue cover. So of course, I buy the one that looks just like it, but it's black and white. And I had to have bought that off eBay because I don't remember. You know, there's 5 or 6 online stores that I buy from consistently. I know Surprise Comic Books. I don't remember ever buying a comic book from them. So, yeah. So that is maybe a good spec play if you can pick that up. Heck, who knows? You go to a LCS, that might be. I don't know that the San Diego Comic-Con version is going to be in a dollar bin, but you definitely could find, you know, at least the first issue, a cover maybe in a dollar bin. I don't think that book was wildly popular. I don't think it was back when it came out. But I wanted to show off those Magic Order books. I did buy the whole set, and I enjoyed it. It was a good read. So if you want a good comic book to read and you think there's some collectability long term, that might be one to take a look at. I did get some books in the mail. I'm going to go over that in a little bit. I'm going to go through some of the books that Marcus sent me. Kind enough to send me some beautiful books. And let me stop sharing the screen here for a second. So the first one is a Dave Stevens cover, which he's an awesome artist. Black Angel. Really cool looking cover. Another awesome artwork by Dave Stevens. That one looks really nice. Another Conan book that I didn't have. Conan number 49. A nice blue cover, blue background. Wolf Woman. I don't know if that's the first appearance of Wolf Woman. Whom the gods named Death. So really cool looking cover. Let's see here. Oh, I forgot to mention on the Dave Stevens cover, one of the reasons this is a hot cover is you got the Nazi symbol. I just noticed that. The Nazi symbol behind her, right? So, you know, you got that collector base that loves comic book covers that have the Nazi symbol on it. I don't know, maybe it's the Nazis. The Nazis are buying the Nazi comic books. Conan, just a cool looking cover. Not too sure who the artist of the Conan book is. Oh, Neil Adams. Yeah, typical Neil Adams. Awesome artwork by Neil Adams. Cool looking cover. I love the blue background. This thing's in mint shape too. It's 9.6-ish to 9.8-ish, no problem. Really nice looking shape. Awesome. My good friend Marcus. Also, he sent me a Doctor Strange. This is an older one too. This is a 25 center from the early 70s. And the cover artist is Frank Bruner. And you got beautiful interior art by Gene Colin. But man, that's a nice looking cover by Bruner. I like Bruner's signature down there. So everyone thinks McFarlane's the one that started this, like signing your name on a scroll. Looks like Bruner did it way before McFarlane. McFarlane was probably in elementary school when this came out. I know McFarlane's around my age. I think he's maybe a couple years older than me. But I think he's around my age, pretty close to it. So beautiful cover by Frank Bruner, Doctor Strange, number 6. With the Doctor Strange movie coming out, everything Doctor Strange should be on the move, especially keys. All right, another really nice book he sent me. I don't remember seeing this. I guess I missed it. Excalibur number 5. And yeah, pure cover by, I think that might be, is it Philip Tan that did that cover? I think it's Philip Tan. It's beautiful. Little Dark Phoenix action going on there. Really cool looking cover. Yeah, I believe that was Philip Tan that did that one. All right, another old book from the 70s. I can't believe he sent this book to me. I was looking to buy this on eBay, but all the copies I were looking at definitely had condition issues, spine ticks all over the place. This book is in absolutely mint shape. I mean, it's an awesome shape. House of Secrets number 96. I love that. Wrightson cover, Bernie Wrightson cover. Just beautiful. You got the scary monster coming out of the painting. Just awesome. Classic cover. I don't think you can go wrong buying these. Early to mid 70s horror comics, DC horror especially. These were not heavily printed. They were thicker. This 52-page book, so it is a thicker book. So a lot harder to find this book in high grade because of the thickness. Remember, the thickness of a book always makes it more treacherous to find in high grade because the spine gets messed up easier. Staples come out, things like that happen. So just a really cool looking cover on that. I just love this book. This thing's in really, really good shape. I mean, I did not find one on eBay that was this nice. So, man, that was really nice of Marcus to send that to me. That was really, really nice of him. Love that book. That will be cherished for all time. And another book he sent me, obviously a cool looking cover. Total cover by, I believe this is J. Scott Campbell. A lot of people love. A lot of people love his artwork. It really, a lot of his stuff jumps up in value just because he does the cover. So I can't imagine this is a real heavily printed book. Probably a pretty low print run. So not a bad idea to have a J. Scott Campbell cover on a low print run book. Hopefully my stream is working. I haven't seen too many people chime in on the chat. I'm up to 8 people watching right now, I think. But you guys let me know if I'm not broadcasting clearly or not. Hopefully I am. All right, next on the list from Marcus. Another awesome looking cover. The Rising Sun #1 by IDW. Just a cool looking cover right there. I'm interested in reading this. I haven't read it yet, but I know they're on issue 2 or 3. I think number 3 is out by now. So, I may pick up more of these issues if it's a really good read. I'll check it out, see if it's any good. Paul Green, I believe. Is it Paul Green that did that one? Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, Marcus. The Jungle Book was not J. Scott Campbell. Why did I think that was J. Scott Campbell? I guess it kind of looks like J. Scott Campbell. Paul Green did this. There's his signature. I guess I looked at the signature and I thought maybe that signature was J. Scott Campbell's signature. His signature is a little bit bigger. But yeah, Paul Green. Sorry. Marcus is there to correct me quickly. Pirate Girl by Paul Green. So I don't know, was Paul Green out doing artwork before J. Scott Campbell? Because, man, I mean, I don't know about you, but if you just showed this to me real quick and say, hey, how do you like this J. Scott Campbell cover? I'd have been like, yeah, it's great. It looks like J. Scott Campbell. It's kind of similar art style. Yeah, The Rising Sun. Yeah, I get really nice notes from Marcus on these books, which helps. That way I don't have to look it up. This is a spec book. Supposedly has a very low print run. So IDW, yeah, that's probably true. IDW does fairly low print runs. So that could be a good spec book to hold on to and see what it does. Another one, this is a nice cover here. Vampirilla in Deja Thoris. Number 2. I believe he sent me number 1 too, so I've got to keep picking this up. Really nice cover. Beautiful cover. We have next on the list here. Sure I'm not missing anything. Visitor number 1. This was a Valiant book. Cool Rockefort cover. I like Rockefort. He does a good job. Seems to be doing, he does some interior artwork now, but a lot of times he's just doing cover work, I've noticed. He's done covers for Ray. I think he's done some covers for Bloodshot. Yeah, so he does Marvel covers. I've seen him do Marvel and DC covers. He did DC Superman for a little while. I have some Action comic book stuff that he's done. So he's a good artist. He definitely has a unique style. When you see his art, you usually can tell right away that's a Rockefort cover. All right, now we're getting to the magazine size books. These are a little bigger. I'm gonna have to get a magazine size storage box now because I'm at the point now where I'm acquiring quite a bit of these magazine size books. We got Vampire Tales. I don't know if there's a number on this one. I don't think there is. Just April of 1974, so it's definitely an older book. And man, this thing's in awesome high grade. That cover is, let me pull out my notes again so I don't forget. Yeah, that's a Boris cover. Says the cover story is illustrated by Esteban Maroto. Beautiful art as always. And then another story inside the book is done by another artist by the name of Tom Sutton, one of Marcus's favorite artists. So I'm gonna have to. I haven't read this book yet. I'll have to check it out. But man, that's a cool looking cover. That guy looks genuinely terrified. Boris, but another awesome artist by the name of Boris. Really cool. Love that book. For you Vampy fans, another Vampirilla book. Warren Magazine, number 28. Vampirilla. Now in full color. So this is not a black and white comic, but a color version. Number 28. Really nice cover. That cover is by Spanish artist Enrique. I think it's Enrique. Hopefully I pronounced it right. By the way, sorry guys, I live right over the flight path up in Tampa. So every 20 minutes or so, there's a plane flying right over my house. It's awesome. Kind of wish I had known that before buying the house, but what are you going to do? All right, so there's Vampirilla, number 28. Beautiful cover by Enrich, E-N-R-I-C-H. So I'm going to pronounce that Enrich. San Julian usually does a lot of these covers for Vampirilla, but that is, and it looks like Frazetta. Yeah, it kind of looks like San Julian too. They're all pretty similar. in style. But man, that's a beautiful cover. Total eye candy right there, no doubt about it. Hey, what's up, BTC Moon Guy? What's up going on, my friend? All right, next one is Creepy number 7, 1965. This is an old book, man. This thing's in fantastic shape for the age. Holy smokes. This whole huge book only cost you 35 cents back in the day. This is a beautiful Frazetta style. It has a single page, also illustrated by Frazetta. His last illustration of art. It says the rest of the work was all covers and paintings for books and magazines. Top artists illustrate the EC line. And Jim Warren went with the magazine size to avoid the comic code, so he was able to produce more mature content in those days. Thank God, too. Marcus writes. So that's a good little tip there. If you're wondering why did they make these horror books in these large magazine sized? Because basically kids weren't buying these off the rack, right? If these were in magazine size, they weren't typically in a comic book rack where kids would normally buy them. So they didn't have to meet the comics code. So that's one of the reasons. And you know, of course, you could have a lot more mature content, which today is nothing, right? The comics code is gone. Now you can pretty much show everything in a comic book for the most part. But yeah, just a beautiful cover by Frazetta. I'm interested in opening it up and seeing the last interior art that he did is in this book. So Creepy number 7, 1965, classic, beautiful book. All right, this is the last one here from Marcus. Man, this is awesome cover too. I love this cover. Whew, man, I think, I don't know. I mean, Frazetta's fantastic. I love Frazetta, but man, this is St. Julian. He's really, really good. So that is a beautiful San Julian cover. I mean, that is just, oh man, Erie 58. Look at that thing. This thing's in high grade too. My goodness. I mean, it's like no spine ticks. I mean, it's 4 sharp corners. It's crazy. It's crazy good. And we've got also interior art by Esteban Maroto and Bernie Wrightson. So man, this is a good book to have. You got some awesome artwork inside the book, and obviously the cover is a masterpiece. Beautiful, beautiful St. Julian. Man, Marcus has the best taste. He knows. I've learned a lot from him about some of these artists. It's amazing. And it's a shame Bernie Wrightson's no longer with us. Got one of my favorite. That let's see if I can show you guys real quick. Let's see if I can find it. He did an illustration of Frankenstein. It is so good. The detail, I mean, I could sit there and look at that drawing for see if I can blow it up. Come on. I'm trying to blow this up so you guys can see it. All right, this isn't too bad. This is not the full drawing, though. It's a really kind of like a landscape size drawing. Let me share my screen. By the way, where I'm at in Tampa, it is unbelievably windy today. So don't be surprised if you see something flying by. It's really, really windy. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that, but man, so go on to Google and type in Frankenstein by Bernie Wrightson, And just look at this drawing. I mean, this thing, the detail, his line work. I think that's sold for crazy money. Yeah, it's sold for $1.2 million. So if I was a multi-millionaire, I would have easily paid $1.2 million for this, because I could just stare at this drawing for hours and hours. It's just unbelievable detail. So when I saw this drawing, I mean, it just, I don't know, it made me have a much greater appreciation for Wrightson. I think he is definitely one of the finest illustrators in history. I mean, he's up there. You could argue 3 or 4 people in that spot, but man, you can't leave out Wrightson. I mean, that just, I'm telling you, blow it up really big where you can see all the real intricate detail line work that he did. Oh man, I can only imagine how long it took to do that. Like the wood beams, I mean, it's phenomenal. But yeah, that is, I don't know. I love that drawing. It's I mean, that's like a Rembrandt. That is a masterpiece, no doubt about it. All right, so Marcus is unbelievable. The stuff he sends me, just fantastic. Hopefully I didn't leave out too much, Marcus. I know you give me a lot of notes. I may have forgotten to say a few things. I think I covered most of it though. Yeah, but just really, really appreciate it. Those books are just fantastic. They'll be cherished forever. All right, let me go back here to a few other books I got in the mail. So these are the books that I ordered maybe a week or 2 ago. Some of them just came in the last few days. I'm trying to complete my run of Batman. I've got 608 all the way to 681. I'm missing. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind. It's really loud. I don't know if there's a storm coming into Tampa or not, but it's crazy. But I have 608 through 681. I'm missing 682, and then I think I'm only missing like 693 through 698. So I'm not missing that many. So I'm slowly trying to accumulate. So I found an online store that had these available. So I picked up 690, 691. These are Tony Daniel covers, if I'm not mistaken. And 692. So those were 3 books that I didn't have in my collection. I got them for $2 or $3 a piece, so they weren't too expensive. And I had this. I pulled this out too. I love this cover. 690. It's 699. So I just need 693 through 698, and I'll be pretty much finished with my Batman run. This was a store variant that came out just this past week. Beautiful art by Natalie Sanders, Witchblade #1. So I don't know if they're rebooting Witchblade, another volume of Witchblade, but man, I love Natalie Sanders' artwork. She is very, very good. So if you're not familiar with Natalie Sanders, check out her Instagram page. She's just really, really good. She did a really nice cover for Chastity #1 that I picked up as well. And I just really, really like this Witchblade. It's a virgin cover. I think there's only 200 or 300 of these produced. So there's a pretty low print run. I just can't remember the website I bought it from. But if you go to her Instagram page, I think she has a link on her Instagram page to any of the stores that are offering it. So you may want to check that out if you like that artwork. But I like Natalie Sanders. I think she's a really good artist. All right, who we got in the house here? Grandmaster Stash. He has joined us. Fantastic. BTC Moon Guy agrees with me that black and white drawing is sick by Wrightson. Pope Cerebus the First, what's going on, my friend? Good evening, sir. Oh, Dollar Fodder's asking me the online store. Yeah, I think if you go on her Instagram page for Natalie Sanders, she has a link, but you could also Google. If you Google Witchblade and put in Natalie Sanders, I think it'll pull it up. I can't remember the website. Okay, let me do the work for you, my friend. Google's amazing, right? All you got to do is ask Google. What was it? Witchblade, #1. I think it's still available. Let's see here. Yeah, Unknown Comics. That's it. Unknown Comics has it for $40. It's still available, so it's not sold out. It's an exclusive Virgin. I think it opens up too, so I'll share my screen. You guys can. Yeah, it does open up, so it's kind of like 2 covers, and it is a Virgin, so it is a beautiful piece of artwork. Nice book to display on your wall. Like I said, I'm not going to be buying near as many store variants this year as I've done in previous years, but man, that's a tough one to say no to. Just I think it's a beautiful image, no doubt about it. Yeah, Pope knows what I'm talking about. That Chastity cover was awesome. But yeah, she's got really good line work. I mean, she's really good detail. She's not a new artist. She's been out for a few years, but she doesn't cut corners. I mean, you could tell she puts a lot of passion into her artwork, which is fantastic. So yeah, I definitely recommend Natalie Sanders. Anytime she comes out with a really cool looking cover, I'll try to grab it. Dollar Bin's asking me what online store for the Detective or Batman comics. I think it was Scott's Comics. Scott's Comics has a pretty big inventory of back issues. They're not always the cheapest, but I do find stuff that's fairly common, like Batman books. You'll get them for $2 to $3, and they'll advertise, condition. They're usually very fine to near mint. I think these were near mint copies, so they were like $3. So they're basically cover price. When they came out, they were $2.99. So I think I paid around cover price for them, so it's good. But if you're looking to fill in runs, looking for certain books that you're trying to complete a series, they're a good resource. ScottsComics.com. I've used them several times in the past. They ship them fantastic to you. I mean, and it's really quick. Usually, within 2 to 3 business days, you get it. Unless you're in Alaska or something, but for the most part, they have a great service. Ronin back to Hawkeye, 9-point New Leaders #11, number 27. Hawkeye as Ronin. Yeah, that's a book that you could find. You're right, relatively inexpensively. You can find raw copies online for maybe $10 to $15 range, probably. That is a book that I have a couple copies of each, and yeah, long term, I think that book is always going to be fairly popular. And I'm assuming Hawkeye is going to maybe show up in the Disney Plus series with Winter Soldier and was it Winter Soldier and who am I not thinking of? The guy that replaces Captain America. I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about. I think that Disney Plus series is going to be coming out later this year. So that book will probably move a little bit. Pope says you have to be selective on the variants one buys. As I say, it's not what you buy, it's what you don't buy. That's true. Yeah. There's not an inventory problem when it comes to store variants. There's plenty of them. Yeah, not a bad idea to not partake in store variants. I mean, most of them don't do well. I mean, once in a while you'll have one that goes crazy, but again, buy what you love. If you buy the book because you love the art, and you don't care if the thing ever goes up in value, you're not going to lose. So everyone collects for different reasons. Mad Mike's Comics, what's going on, my friend? Still got, we're up to 14 people in the chat. That's good. All right, Manny, now we can get going. Manny finally joined us. Manny is in all my streams. What's going on, my friend? Dollar Bin Fodder is saying, my source is telling me that Bucky Barnes will be scripted as a Wakanda spy in that's it, Falcon. I couldn't think of the damn character name. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Under his code name dropped in Civil War, White Wolf. There you go. First appearance is Black Panther #4, 1998. So there's a good spec book for you. That might be on the move. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that book either. So that's a good tip, Dollar. Check out that book. I think I have that book in my collection. I'll have to make sure. I'll have to look and see, but I think I did grab like the first 10 issues of Black Panther back then, so I'll have to make sure I have it. I think I do. All right, let me go on. Let me finish some of these books here. So this is another book that a little bit of speculation on. Ghost Rider, Fear Itself, #1. This book is first appearance of it's that female Ghost Rider. What the hell's her name? You think I would know these things? I knew it a few days ago when I bought it, but obviously I didn't tell my brain to keep that in long-term memory. Let's see here. I'll tell you in a second. What was that? Was that 2011 that came out? Yeah, first appearance of Alejandra Jones. Alejandra Jones. So basically the female Ghost Rider. I think there's some speculation that she might be showing up at some point. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll show up in the, maybe it's the Dark Justice League. I'm not too sure where they think she'll show up, but when I say Dark Justice League, she's not in the DC universe. Maybe one of the Disney, I think it might be one of the Disney Plus streaming services. There's speculation that she's going to show up in one of the Disney Plus storylines. So that may be one to look at. I think you can still get it cheap. I mean, I think I picked it up for like $2 or $3. I got a really good deal on it. If you go on eBay right now, it looks like $15 with shipping, maybe 15 to 20. So it's not super expensive, but it's not cover price. So I got lucky. I found this on an online website still for cover price. So I bought that with my Batman book. So I got it on Scott's Comics. I don't know if they have any. They may still have some in inventory, but I think it was only like $2 or $3. It was cheap. So, and I also picked up the second issue. So whenever you pick up the first issue, it's not a bad idea to pick up the following issue, because I mean, technically that would be a second appearance, right? So a lot of times pick up the first 2 issues, and just in case, I don't know if it really blows up, you want to have the second appearance as well. And again, it was a cheap book. I think I got it for less than cover price. So yeah, can't go wrong with that. All right, I'm getting down to the last 3 books, and then we'll go over some things you guys maybe want to talk about. We can maybe cover subjects in the chat, which would be kind of cool. The next one is Doctor Strange #6. So I've shown this book before. This is my second copy. I just love the cover. It's a beautiful cover by Butch Guice. I think back then he called himself Jackson. I think it's the same guy. Butch Guice. Butch Jackson Geist, I think is his name technically, but just a really cool cover. He's been in the industry a while. Daughter of Mephisto, I guess her name is Dread. I think she has dreadlocks. So she has dreadlocks and her name's Dread. And I got 2 copies of that. So yeah, I definitely wanted another copy. Both are very high grade, probably 9.6 or 9.8. Not a lot of these for sale on eBay. I mean, when I bought this, there might have been 1 or 2 other listings, and I think they were asking a lot more. I mean, I picked this up, I think with shipping, it was like $8, $8 or $9. It was pretty cheap. So I didn't get it for cover price, obviously, but first appearance of a character that, not a major character, but Mephisto's daughter. Yeah, I could see her showing up at some point in something. You know, maybe a Doctor Strange. Maybe she shows up in the Doctor Strange movie. I mean, imagine if she shows up in the Doctor Strange movie. This book's going to go freaking bananas. This will be a $40, $50, $60 book easy. So for $8, $9, I mean, if you look, you can get it pretty cheap. It's not an expensive book, but one I recommend. I know a couple of you have told me that you also picked that up. Well, I think I showed that book over a month ago when I bought the first copy. And several of you told me, yeah, I went and bought one as well, just in case. I mean, I have no idea if she's going to show up in anything, but it's still a first appearance. I mean, it's still a character that I think could be a sleeper. All right. Yeah, Dollar Bin brought up a good point. There are ratio variants on that Ghost Rider book. They're way out of my league. I mean, when I looked at it, there's a really nice Neil Adams cover. Who's the other? There's another one by another artist. Can't remember the name, but man, they're expensive. I mean, the only ones I saw in there were like $200-$300. So yeah, he's saying 9.8 or $700 to $1,400. Yeah, it was a low print run book. So anyone back in the day that picked up that book in a 1 in 50. I think one of them was a 1 in 50. I think there was another one that was a 1 in 100, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but yeah, those books are definitely hot right now. I don't know that I'm going to go. I wouldn't pay that kind of money for Alejandro Jones. I mean, I don't care what the print run is. If I'm going to spend $1,400 or $700, I'm going to buy a really good key bronze or silver age book that I can, that has a way more significance than that. So for me, I picked it up for a few bucks, regular A cover. That's fine for me. To each his own, but that's what I would do on that book. I wouldn't recommend going with the incentive books, especially at the price. Maybe you can find it at a LCS for cheap, but a Dollar Bin, he knows what's going on. 1 in 30, 1 in 50, and 1 in 100. There you go. So those are going to be expensive books. I would recommend just getting the A cover. If you're going to spend that kind of money, I don't think I would buy. That character is not going to be, she's not going to air, but just that's my opinion. All right, superhero reviews. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for joining. All right, last 2 books I'm going to show are key books that I've been thinking about for a while. One of them, I picked up the first appearance, second print a couple weeks ago. I can't afford the first print. I mean, it's so expensive. I mean, I like the character, but I don't like it that much. So I will show you right now. One of the books I got in really, really high grade is Amazing Spider-Man number 102. This is the second appearance of Morbius, the living vampire. Back then, they spell his name differently. Isn't it Morbius? Back then, they spelled it Morbus. Moribus. So I don't know. I think they did change the spelling on that, but I just now noticed that the other day. But there is his second appearance. And man, if you look at I could try to show it here, especially the spine. I mean, there's no, let's see if I can get a good angle here. No glare. This thing has no spine ticks. No spine ticks. Edges are sharp. I'm not going to say this would be a 9.6 or 9.8. There might be other little things wrong with it that you can't. Yeah, look at that thing. No creases. High grade. I would easily say this is, I'd say between a 9.2 and a 9.4 comfortably. There's really nothing really wrong, especially the cover looks beautiful. There might be a little something on the back, dent or something. But the cover, I mean, for me, if the cover has no spine ticks, no creases, edges are nice and clean and sharp, I mean, that's, whether you want to debate that it's a 9.0 or 9.2 or 9.4, I mean, I'm okay with it. It's high grade. So, yeah, that book, this is a clean, and the colors are just like brand new. I mean, this book is, I could tell this book was cared for. This was not a book that was left out in the sunlight. I mean, this was stored in a box and kept, really, really good care of. So really, really happy to have this in my collection. It's Amazing Spider-Man 102. So that's a kind of a minor grail for me. I like that it's the second appearance of Morbius. The price on that book has been going up. I got that book cheap. I got it, I think I paid maybe $70 or $75. So I got it way under $100, and normally that book should be selling around $125 to $150. So I got a really good deal on it, especially for that condition. I mean, I'm confident if I wanted to resell this, I could get probably $150 for it, pretty easy, no doubt. So based on what I paid, it's probably close to a double in value. So, but I'm not going to sell it. That sucker is going in the personal collection, and there it shall remain. All right, the last book I'm going to show is definitely not. It's not a major key, but it's sort of a minor key. But all of you are familiar with this character. This book, his books have been blowing up for a while. It's not a big surprise. But Werewolf by Night, number 33. This is the second appearance of Moon Knight. And yeah, I paid more than $100 for this. But I got a good deal on this book. I mean, if you look at this thing, so there's one, where is it? Right? If you could look closely, there's one tiny color-breaking spine tick. That's it. That's it. One little spine tick, edges sharp, maybe in this one, maybe a little tiny bit of spine roll, not much, just a tad that could be pressed out easily. So if this book was pressed, which it wouldn't need much of a pressing, I mean, literally the only reason to press it would be just a tad bit of spine, a little bit of spine roll there in the corner. Man, there's no creases, corners are all sharp. I mean, right now, in my opinion, this book's a 9.4. I would comfortably say that this is a 9.4. If it was pressed, maybe CGC would probably give it a 9.6 if it was pressed, because I've seen them give 9.6s with one spine tick. But man, this is the cleanest copy I could find especially for the price. The guy was asking, I think he was asking $230, $240 maybe, $240. And I threw out an offer. I offered him $190 and he took it. I couldn't believe it. So I got this. I think I got this for a steal. I think this book is easily a $250 to $300 book. He probably had it priced too low to begin with. For this condition, I mean, you're just not going to find a second appearance in really high grade. It's really hard to find these in a high grade. This is 1975, 74, I don't know, 75, I think. And, black, dark cover. Just, if I go on eBay, almost every single one I look at has tons of problems on the spine, tons of spine ticks, creases all over the place. And some of these books still go for $100 or more. So to get this, just under $200 in this kind of grade, I get lucky once in a while. This one was very, very lucky. I just feel like it was a fantastic book to pick up. So I'll stay on here for a few more minutes. It's 7 o'clock. I started at 6, so I've been on about an hour. I usually do these for about an hour or so. But it's getting near dinner time here in Florida, so I'm going to be grabbing dinner in a minute. Yeah, you guys have anything you want to talk about? We can, if you want to chime in on the chat, anything you want to take a look at. I did get some emails on some books that are coming out. Let me share my screen. A couple things that might be interesting. Let me pull it up here. Couple books that look in. Now some of these are store variants, so Dollar Bin Fodder would probably disconnect from my stream right now. He's probably like, "Yeah, I'm not interested." But I'm just going to highlight the art. I think it's cool art. I'm not buying these either, but I just thought they look pretty cool. But you've got a nice Wolverine #1. This is the C2E2 exclusive. So at the convention in Chicago, that is a Perel cover. I like it. It's pretty cool. I think they want around $30 for that. I don't know. I'm gonna pass on it. I do like the cover, but that is one that is being highlighted quite a bit this week. So that's a book that some people are talking about. And I think there was something else that looked interesting. Big Time Collectibles has a kind of a cool looking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cover for number 103 by Dexter Soy. I like Dexter Soy. If you want to check out his artwork, he normally does interior art and covers for Batman and the Outsiders. I think he's been on that series since the beginning there for DC. So he's popular. He draws very similarly to Cale No, the Filipino artist who's done some covers for these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle covers. But I mean, it's a cool looking cover. I don't think I'm going to pick it up. I'm not really collecting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now, but that is a nice looking cover. It looks like they want $20 for it. There's only 500 copies made, so definitely somewhat limited, and a nice looking cover to boot for $20. That may not be a bad deal. Probably going to be more limited than a 1 in 20 or 1 in 10 incentive variant that you typically see through IDW. So that might be one that you're interested in. Let's see here. Let me go. There was one more here. Golden Apple Comics. I get emails from them. They got a cool looking cover. So they're rebooting Werewolf by Night. You can kind of see it there. So it's a 1 in 50 by the artist Okazaki. That book seems to do well. Golden Apple wants $90 for it. I mean, I would wait until the book comes out, the week it comes out. I think you can get it closer to ratio, but that will definitely be a $50 book when it comes out based on the 1 in 50 ratio. But I think that one could do well. I have a feeling, Werewolf by Night's getting popular because of Moon Knight right now. I think you could see some demand for that book. And it could be pretty scarce. I mean, I don't know that a lot of shops are going to order 50 copies of the regular A cover. So that could be a book that gets pretty hot. The one right below it, it's called Undone by Blood #2, the 1 in 10 by Listener. That book is probably going to be hot. They're asking only $20 for it, so double ratio. I did highlight on my new comic book video yesterday on Midtown. Show you real quick. So Undone by Blood is a new book coming out. And there is a really cool looking Andrew Robinson cover. I missed buying it on Midtown. It was already sold out by the time I had noticed it. Usually I'm on top of Midtown and get to it really quickly, but I did not notice it until it was sold out. So Midtown had their 1 in 10 for sale for $17. That sold out very quickly. So it's Aftershocks Comics. The interior artist is Sammy Kivla, and your writers are Lonnie Nadler and Zach Thompson. The series looks interesting. It's like based in the Old West. Let's see here. In the early 1970s, Ethel Grady Lane returns to her hometown of Sweetheart, Arizona, with one thing on her mind: killing the man who murdered her family. But first, she'll have to find him. As Ethel navigates the eccentric town and its inhabitants, she learns that the quaint veneer hides a brewing darkness. She has no choice but to descend into a ring of depravity and violence with her only ally, an Old West novel. That's where I got the Old West from. That follows famed gunslinger Solomon Eaton. As both stories unfold simultaneously, a love of fiction informs choices in reality, for better or worse, from the minds of Lonnie Nadler and Zach Thompson. So they've done, their previous books were The Dregs, they've done X-Men and The Infernal Descent. And the artist Sam Kivla has also done Abbott and Tommy Gun Wizards. Yeah, so it sounds like an interesting series. I know this book sold out super quick. I went on eBay, sold out. All the copies on eBay were gone. Some for as high as $30. I did find one online store that had one copy available. I got it for $20 plus shipping, so it was like $24. And I haven't seen any since. So if you really want this book, I think, it's Andrew Robinson cover. It's a cool looking cover. And it could be a hot series. I have a feeling this book is going to be a $50, $60 book in a week or so, as soon as it comes out. So next Wednesday is when it technically comes out. So don't be surprised if you see this book get pretty hot. If you have an LCS that gets a lot of Aftershock or independent books, you may want to call them up and say, hey, can you grab a book? Can you grab that cover for me? I'd like to pick that up. I called one of the LCSs that are friendly to deal with, and the best I could get was, yeah, we had one subscriber already request it, but if we get an extra, well, I'll pull it aside for you. Probably means I won't get it. So I did get one copy, though, so I shouldn't be greedy. But I think that book could be, I have a feeling that's going to be on the CBSI Hot 10 list. I just have a feeling. I don't know. We'll see. That's my prediction. Agent J.R. Ewing, what's going on, my friend? The Comic Don is in the house. And yes, you did make a live feed. I stayed on long enough. I've been on for over an hour. I'm about to finish up here, though, guys. I got to get going. Manny says, before I buy off eBay, I always contact a seller and politely ask for pics or video of the inside, back, and spine of the book. Ooh, man, you are on top of it. It's good to be careful, right? You can get burned. If you're not careful, you can get burned. I remember back in the day, I bought an NYX number 3, right? First appearance of X23. I think I paid $50 or I didn't pay much for it, $50 or $60. It wasn't a super hot book then. And I went to get it graded. I thought for sure it'd be a 9.8, and nope, it's missing a page. So it was a qualified grade. So I ended up selling it for $80, even with the qualified grade. So I did make money off of it, but yeah, that should have been a $200, $300 book at the time, and I only got $80 for it. So I still made money off of it, but yeah, I didn't take the time to check. I mean, I don't think most of us check the inside of a book to see if a page is missing, but not a bad idea. I mean, you want to be careful, especially if you're spending big money. But again, if you're buying something off eBay, typically, if you're a buyer, eBay will protect you. If you get something that isn't right, normally you can get your money back for the most part. I know that because I'm a seller on eBay, and I've had that happen to me where the buyer just didn't like the condition of the book or stated that it wasn't exactly as I stated, so he ended up getting his money back. Nothing I could do about it. So yeah, if you're a buyer on eBay, you do have certain protections, but it definitely helps to be careful for sure. Luis Ramirez, what's going on, my friend? All right, guys, I think that's it. I've been on here for over an hour. I think I accomplished all that I wanted to accomplish. I showed you guys a lot of books that I got in the mail, books I got from Marcus. Again, Marcus is a good buddy of mine. He sends me stuff all the time. He doesn't need to, but he enjoys this hobby, and I really appreciate all that he's done to support my channel. All of you have been very supportive of my channel. I mean, I really do appreciate it. You guys tuning in means a lot to me. I'll let you know when my next stream is. It's probably going to be tomorrow. I'm going to probably do just a quick stream to highlight the Hot 10 list. So look for that tomorrow evening, probably around 6 to 7 range. Hope you guys have a great Thursday, and I'll see you soon.